Okay. Let me get out of here. I have to go to the bathroom.
Whoa.
What was that? Was that me?
Probably.
That was me. That was my bad.
Okay. All right. As long as it wasn't me, I feel like I have enough technical difficulties. Okay, so let's start in like, what time is it? 9:31. Let's start in like 2 minutes. I just want any last minute people to jump on.
How are you on here twice? Wait, are you still? Oh, yeah.
What?
I said, how are you on here twice?
Oh, because, okay, here's the thing. I have 2 laptops, and one is like my old one, and then one is one that I got for Christmas. And the one that I got for Christmas, I don't know. It's like a tugboat.
Me. I
What
will
is
silence
that?
my cell phone.
Oh,
I might
that's
have to
funny.
leave the chat to do that, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
You might just be able to mute in the app though. You could mute it and I don't know if it'll do it.
Okay.
Tap the screen. Do you have an iPhone? No, you've got an Android, huh?
Yes.
I think you should, well, I'm not sure, but if you tap the screen and then hit mute, then we can still see you, but it'll silence your side. There you go.
You guys, I'm so happy how many people are on here. This is making me so happy. Okay, let's get started. So yeah, what I was saying is I have 2 computers and my cell phone, and I can barely figure out how to do this. I'm like not technology savvy. I think I am, and then like when I can't figure something out, I get all sweaty and like start to freak out and like want to throw stuff. So anyways, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to be on here twice. But okay, so welcome everybody that's on here. I wanted to do the same as Kristen and just congratulate anyone on here that promoted this month. Congratulations. You guys are the bomb.com. Anyone that's close, this month is your month. I know it is. And anyone that's struggling, I'm so glad you're on, because this, we're going to give you some amazing tips that will hopefully help you guys a lot. So tonight the topic is how to get distributors to join your team. And I specifically called it that for a reason. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Ashley right away, because she's going to talk a little bit about how to get distributors to join your team, and you'll understand why I keep saying it like that too. If you aren't muted, go ahead and mute yourself just so that there's no feedback going on and so that we can all hear Ashley really well.
Okay. Hi, guys. All right. So Shelby keeps saying get with like a lot of emphasis behind that on purpose. And the reason is because we're not in this business to get distributors. We didn't join to recruit or to just cold, well, I don't know if everybody on here knows what this means, but you didn't join to just cold message people and try to get them on your team to help yourself make extra money. You join this business because you want to help other people. You want to find people who maybe they have some debt that they need to pay off. Maybe there's a mom out there who desperately wants to stay home with her kids, but she can't afford it because daycare is insane. Maybe there's a mom out there or maybe there's somebody who's planning their wedding, or a family who wants to move, but they don't have enough money for whatever the costs are, down payment on a house, whatever it is. So guys, the point is that you join this business to help people. If you can just change that mindset, that alone is going to make a huge difference. And I know that kind of sounds maybe like a little dumb right now, but truly, if you can change your mindset, if you can wake up in the morning and think like, okay, who can I talk to today who really needs to make some extra money? And who do I already know who is struggling? Then it's going to make all the difference in the world, because people can feel your fakeness. People can feel when you're not really being real with them, or when they're being sold to. So I'm not going to be on that topic forever, but basically this Zoom is not actually about how to get distributors. It's about how to find people who need the business and what you do from there. Once you have found somebody who needs extra money, what do you do from there? I'm going to pass it back over to you, Shelb.
Okay. I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself. Okay. So yeah, that's to me the most important part is we do not get distributors. We find people that need this and we help them. And I took a couple of notes of, we've done it in the past and we're going to do it again in the future at some point, but specific Zooms for social media and to how to train you guys how to use social media. But I did take a couple of notes that go with that, not getting, but finding people that need this, and they relate specifically to social media. So the number one thing is when you're on social media and you're finding people that need this business, you need to be thoughtful. The more thoughtful you are, that's what's gonna bring people in. Like Ashley was saying, people can feel when you're being really salesy. People can feel when you're being really desperate, and they can feel that, right? You know, and I'm sure that some of you may have even received messages from people and you could read right through it. You know, you read it and you were like, no, you know, I haven't even talked to you in 10 years. You haven't liked a single one of my posts, and now you want me to join your like candle company. Like, I don't want to do that, so it's so important that you're thoughtful. And some of the ways that you can be thoughtful is by interacting with these people and engaging with them. I'm gonna stop for a second. Are you guys getting an echo from me?
No.
Okay, cool. So you just have to be very, very thoughtful, and you do that by engaging with these people and truly caring about them. When I message somebody and I say something about their kids, I didn't just go to their Facebook and learn about their kids 30 seconds before I messaged them. I've been looking at their Facebook every day for the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I've been asking this person questions. I've been talking to this person. I've been commenting about how their kids are so cute. That way, when I do go message them, they're not like, I haven't talked to you in 10 years. We've reestablished our friendship and we've reconnected, and they feel way more comfortable when I bring up the business or whatever I choose to bring up, whether it's the business or the products or whatever. And they don't feel like they don't feel like just another number or dollar signs. They feel like a friend is asking a friend. So just be really, really thoughtful. Some other things that I wrote down are what this has to do specifically with your posts. So you need to be showing people why they should be joining your team. I never, ever, ever, ever want to see anybody on my team post, join my team for $99 or join my team. Like, why should I? You're not giving me any reason why I should join your team. So you need to be showing people why they should. So instead of saying, join my team for $90, wraps or distributor kits or buy one, get one free. Like, no, you need to be, and I don't even know why I said that. They're not buy one, get one free right now. That just like slipped out. Sorry. That was weird. But what I mean is don't just don't just say join my team, show them why. And so ways that you can show them why are by being very compelling in your posts, by making people curious about your posts. You don't always have to say, I'm an It Works distributor, and this is what I'm doing today, and this is so great, and this is why you should join my team. Like, it's not always about you having this perfect, like, I know there's so many people on Instagram, or at least this is what I saw when I first started, about top leaders posting about their amazing lives, and me thinking, well, how am I ever going to find distributors? I don't have this amazing life. I don't go on vacation every 5 minutes, or I don't get to do this or do that. And so I was like, so how am I going to be compelling? Well, there's other ways to be compelling. And sometimes it's the little things that are more compelling than the bigger things. So when you're posting, you can say something like, how It Works paid for your groceries this week, or how you were able to fill your gas tank because of the, fast start bonus that you earned, or, little things like that can sometimes be more compelling, because that's what people really need right now, is just a little bit extra. They don't necessarily need or think they could ever possibly earn $10,000. Like, to some people that just seems unattainable, and like only certain people can do that because they're this, and that, or the other. But when you're like, I was able to fill my gas tank, they're like, well, crap, I can't even go anywhere for the next 2 days until I get paid, because I'm not able to fill my gas tank. So if It Works is able to do that, then maybe this is something I can do. So sorry, I'm like trying to plug in my phone and talk to you guys, and I'm not good at multitasking. So yeah, I hope you get the point with that, just be very, very compelling in your posts, and all the things that, Ashley listed off, like maybe when you're thinking of who you can help, and you're like, okay, well, I've seen this girl talk about how she wished she could stay home with her babies, or I've seen this girl talk about how she's about to get married, or whatever it may be. Target your post towards those people. So, or maybe think of 5 things that relate specifically to you, even if it's something that happened in the past. So like for me, I was married, but before I started this business, but I could say something like, It Works has totally changed my life, blah, 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 blah. I wish when I was getting married, I had this in my life. Weddings are so expensive, and I just wish that I had that extra income streaming in to help me pay for my wedding. Just because I was already married and didn't have It Works at the time doesn't mean that I can't use it. So think of 5 things that you can personally relate with, and then just start talking about them. I heard this thing too from Jocelyn Yates, who is a top income earner, and just she's been a top distributor enroller like every single month for her whole life probably. And one of the things that she said in one of her trainings is find 50 different ways to tell your story, and tell it every single day. So for her, she was a broke college student. So a lot of times she'll talk about how all she wanted was to be able to buy expensive shampoo, or, so of course she's not going to post that every single day. Like, I wish I could have bought expensive shampoo. She's going to change it up. So find 50 different ways that you can share your story, and share it every single day. So always be sharing your story, because that's what's going to draw people in, because they can relate to you. When people can relate to you, they're going to ask you questions and be interested. Let me see what else I have, because I don't want to hog the whole Zoom. I want to be able to pass this on. Be compelling, make people curious, post about past, present, and future. So this is another really good thing. If you're like, well, I haven't even really made a great paycheck with It Works yet, or I'm brand new, whatever, wherever you are in this business, talk about your past maybe you were struggling, and even just the like $25 that you made from selling a wrap paid for this, that, or the other. Maybe your cell phone was about to shut off, and because of that wrap party that you had, you were able to pay your bill for the month. Talk about your future. Like so maybe you're not making $1,000 a month or whatever with It Works. Talk about how you want to make $1,000 with It Works, or dream even bigger than that and talk about how you're gonna earn that $10,000 bonus. Just because you haven't earned it yet doesn't mean your friends don't need to be hearing how you're going to and how they could too. So past, present, and future. And if you guys do all these things, because I know for me, a lot of times I would be like, I don't know what to post about right now. So like I would just feel uninspired or brain dead. And so then I just wouldn't post. Well, that's the worst thing you can do, is not post, because then people are wondering if you're even still a distributor. Like, don't go a day without posting. And if you do all these different things, if you're posting about your past, if you're posting about your present, if you're posting about your future, if you're posting about your short-term goals, your long-term goals, if you're posting about your friends' accomplishments. I hope every single one of you on here posted about how Rochelle just earned this bonus, or maybe not even Rochelle, maybe you posted about the other people who promoted. And I mean, we had so many people on this team who have only been in this business for 30 days and they promoted. Post about that, like that's incredible. So be posting about your teammates, be posting other people's success stories. Feel free to share my story if you want to. Feel free to share Ashley's, Rochelle's, Felicia's. I just posted a story about Felicia the other day, and I got so many people liking and asking questions and stuff, because she was a teacher and a new mama and was able to retire. And that's like, there's so many people on my Facebook who are teachers. And so to them, they were like, wait a second, how do I do this? So, post about your friends and other people. It doesn't have to be about you all the time. And share your story in 50 different ways over 50 days. And if you're doing all those things, you're never going to run out of content. You're never going to run out of things to talk about. And then when you do, just start over, like by then you're going to have, if you're doing it right, you're going to have a ton of new Facebook friends who need to hear your story again. So anyways, I just talked forever. I didn't mean to, but those are all just like some social media tips for ways that you can be posting and, drawing people in. And imagine the day when you don't even, and I don't even know if this is truly ever going to be a day, because I still message people every single day, but imagine the day when you no longer have to be messaging 50 people a day, because 50 people a day are coming to you, asking you what you're doing and how they can do it too. Like, how awesome would that be? And the only way that's going to happen is if you're adding people regularly, you're being very consistent with your posts, you're being very compelling with your posts, and you're drawing people in. So I'm going to pass it off to somebody else because we have so many good tips. Rochelle, do you want to talk about something for a minute?
Yeah, I was actually going to touch on, can you guys hear me okay? Everybody can hear me? Okay. So I was actually going to touch on what you first started talking about on building relationships and like connecting with the people that you're actually adding as prospects. And it's so important. I actually have a little story from this morning. I had a few people add me on Facebook, and I added them. We didn't have any mutual friends. And I added them. I had looked through, and it didn't look like they were involved in any MLMs. But immediately, the second that I pressed add friend, I got a message with a link to their page and all about like adding to the group, and you should join my business of what they were doing. It wasn't It Works, it was something else. But I immediately was so frustrated. And I know that none of you are doing this because we tell you exactly how to do it. But it's so important that when you add people, you're actually taking the time to go through and this goes for Facebook and Instagram, like the last 3 or 4 posts that they have. Actually be commenting and interacting on things for a couple weeks, like Shelby said, before you ever decide that you're just going to message them, cold message them out of the blue. The second thing is we need to be making sure that they're actually people that we want on our team. You don't just want to message random people and just be like, join my team, join my team, join my team. Well, what if they're not motivated, or this really isn't for them? You guys need to be, I guess the word is interviewing, just as much as you would, for like a job. You want these people to be good teammates and not just sign up and not do anything. So a couple notes that I wrote down, things that you can ask, when you're messaging potentials. And a common thing is people saying like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I couldn't do this. I'm not a salesperson. Well, neither am I, and neither are any of you. We have some of you might, but I have absolutely no sales experience whatsoever. And my favorite way to respond to that is like, if you go to Starbucks and you find a new drink that you really like, you're probably going to take a picture of it and post it and be like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this new drink. You guys have to go try it. Well, you just marketed. That's a word. You just did network marketing for Starbucks. And people don't realize that. They don't realize that you're just sharing about products that you love. And if they've never tried the products before, it's always a good, sometimes people will say, well, I don't want to join something unless I try the products. That's totally normal. But at the same time, you could say, well, why don't you try them while you're making money, and especially if they're wanting to lose weight or they have goals for themselves, it's a lot easier to get loyal customers if you're using the products yourself and you're seeing the results and you're sharing them with people. Then people are going to want to join you in that. So I kind of got off track. I was talking about questions that you could ask in like interviewing, seeing if they're good on your team. So are you coachable is a question that I always ask them, when they're saying like, okay, this sounds pretty easy. I think I could do it. That's something that kind of scares me in the beginning, because I'm like, well, it's not necessarily easy, but it's very simple. And if you're coachable, I can help you get to where I just got to. And not to mention, for me lately, it's been a little bit easier because I can tell them that when they first sign up, they have a full 90 days to get that $10,000 bonus. And I just did it in 45. And you guys can be using that. And instead of saying, I've seen a lot of this, so I wanted to touch on this. Instead of saying my upline, like on Facebook or Instagram, instead of saying my upline just got a $10,000 bonus, say your friend or your some of the people on my team, my sister or my cousins, say who I am to you, say a friend, because it makes it, a lot of people don't know what upline means, and it makes it more personal to them. And they're like, wait, somebody that they know and actually have a friend that just got a $10,000 bonus. And that really helps with people to be reaching out. So are you coachable is something I ask. Also, if they're not responding to you and you're still following up, one of my favorite questions to ask them is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how curious are you about this business? 10 being you want to join my team today, and 1, you don't need to say 1. So 10 being you want to join my team today. And then just say, I would love to answer any of your questions and see how we can get you to a 10. A lot of the times people don't have the $99 up front, and they just don't want to tell you that right away. So if you give them this option of a 1 to 10 scale, they can come back and be like, I'm at an 8, but I really don't have the money right now. And that's usually what they end up saying. Or I'm just really scared. I've seen a lot of people do this and they've failed. And then now you know exactly where they're at and where their head's at and what you need to do to get them to that 10 in order to help them join your team. And if they say something like that, like I've seen a lot of people do this and fail, well, you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to understand that the expectations that you might have, oh, I really want to make $500 extra per month. Okay, well, this is a question I always ask. How much work are you willing to put into this weekly? How much time can you put into this? And if they say 2 hours a week max is all I could do, well, then $500 a month extra is probably unrealistic. And you need to be able to tell them that. Okay, well, if that is all that you can put in, I could probably build you or help you get to a certain point to where you could make an extra, $100 to $200 a month. But if you want to up that time, I would love to tell you how you can get to our 3rd rank in our company and get you that extra $500 a month. Something like that, where it's kind of telling them off the bat that their expectations of it are completely, it's unrealistic of them to think they're going to join and just make $500 a month. So, sorry, I'm talking a lot too. I just had a few more notes here. Making sure you're adding new prospects every day. One thing I want to talk about that I do every single day, and I know Shelby and Ashley do this too, is making a 6 list every single night. And if you've never heard of a 6 list, it's just 6 things that you're going to accomplish the next day that you write down and know that those are the things that you need to do the next day before you go to sleep. So whether you do them in the morning or night, whenever you can get them done, you get them done. And things on my 6 list are adding 50 people to Instagram every single day, adding 15 people to Facebook, messaging 15 to 20 people about the business, messaging 15 to 20 people about the products. And you get the idea. But basically, if you're keeping yourself accountable and, posting 3 to 6 times a day, 3 about the products, 3 about the business, and you're staying consistent, you will see results. And you have to stay consistent. I get messages all day long from girls like, I've been messaging so many people and nobody's responding to me. How many people are you messaging? If it's 10, that's understandable. But if it's 75 people, I guarantee you are getting responses. And if you've messaged 75 people in a day, then come to me if you're not getting any responses, because we got to figure out how we can make that work. But that's what I wanted to say, is just like staying consistent with everything and making sure that you're on top of it and not missing a day with doing those things. You will be successful with signing distributors and getting people that you want to help. So I think that's all I wrote down for now. Ashley, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I have a couple notes. Just to kind of piggyback off of what Rochelle was just saying about constantly adding people every day. You guys will find what number works best for you. Some of you will work full time, some of you don't, but whatever your schedule is, you have to be adding people every day to Facebook and to Instagram, because thinking about it like this, say you just joined this business today and you have 250 followers on Instagram. That's about what I had when I joined. That means if you're not adding people daily, the same 250 people are seeing your business and products posts. You're gonna come to a point where nobody's ordering from you anymore and nobody's asking you about the business anymore, because it's the same people every day. Just a quick example. Yesterday, just like Shelby said, to retell your story 50 different ways, I try to make sure I do that every day. And because I'm constantly adding new people and retelling my story, I am finally at the point where I will wake up with messages from people who are like, wait, what the heck do you do? Like, what do you mean you make money from home? And it's because these are fresh people seeing my post. And I know this isn't about this, what I'm about to tell you isn't about distributors, but literally 30 minutes before the Zoom, I made another hair, skin, and nails post, which I have made the same post probably like twice a week since I've joined. I've done the same hair, skin, and nails post, just with different pictures. And I added, I added a bunch of people today, and I made that post, and within 20 minutes I signed an LC because she just saw that for the first time because she had never seen my post before. So with distributors, you guys make sure that you're constantly, make sure that you guys are constantly adding people. Okay, and then I have 2 more notes. One, this is from a Zoom or a training I watched today from Sarah Rankin. And it was really good. Like, I've never really thought about it this way. But when you guys are talking to potential distributors, you have to find out their why. But money isn't their why, which I never really, I will be honest, I've always asked, like, okay, so what kind of money are you looking to make monthly with this business? Because I like to know, do I need to help get them to Ruby or Emerald? Like, what is their goal? But it's deeper than that. That's not their why. You need to find out what that money will do for them. So if you ask somebody that question and they say they need an extra $500, okay, great. I can tell you exactly how to get there. What would that extra $500 do for you? Then you can find out that there somebody has a 2-year-old and she wants to stay home with him instead of having to go to work or whatever it is. And the reason why that's important is, one, you guys can connect more on a personal level, and two, when you're doing your follow-ups with her, you can remind her of that. Like when she starts saying like, oh, I don't know, I'm kind of scared, I don't know if I'll be good at this. Then you can remind her like, hey, are you really let being worried about whether you're good at this or not keep you from being at home with your son? And then she's going to be like, oh, good point. So make sure you dig into what they need that money for. And then the other thing is, if you have been talking to the same potential and going back and forth for a long time, most of the time it's because you haven't connected with them yet. And I don't mean necessarily like, obviously you're talking to them, but I mean like connected with them to the point where they feel like you have given them the reason for them to join, and everybody's different. So keep that in mind too. Yes, but okay. Every once in a while, it is going to just be about money, and they're just trying to wait until they have the $99. I understand that, but a lot of times too, they haven't felt like you've given them a good enough reason to join. So, and then the last thing I want to say is, especially for newbies, is self-development. Whether that means watching trainings every day, there are a million YouTube trainings on how to sign distributors. Shelby already mentioned Jocelyn Yates, Jade Hooper, Ashley Sinclair. There are a ton of leaders that you guys can just literally go on YouTube, put in their name, and just scroll and find how they sign distributors, because I learn something new every day. I try to watch one training a day. Sometimes, like today, I was doing laundry and I had it on in the background. But every leader is so different, and they all work their business so differently, that you will learn something. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of all of these trainings that are available for us, because even people like Stephanie and Joel Dunn, who are the #1 income earners, they take the time out of their lives to help us because they want us to be successful. So make sure you guys do that. And I think that's it. That's all that I have on my notes.
Rochelle, do you have anything else? Because I have like 3 more things, but I'll wait until you're done if you have anything else.
I had one more note here that's probably worth saying. So when you're responding, when you're going back and forth with a potential distributor, it's really important that you guys understand that the shortest responses that you can give that get across your point is the best, if that makes sense. I don't want you to like lie to them or not tell them exactly what they're getting, but the shorter that you can be, if you send out your generic, would you like to earn some extra money from home, or, the generic message that we have in the team page that you guys have seen that I use, and they come back and they say, sure. Instead of saying all of the details about what it is that you do, just say, awesome. Have you ever heard of It Works Global? That's all you say. And then they're going to come back with either yes or no, and you can respond from that and keep it short. The reason why I say this is because they get really overwhelmed and they're already skeptical. So when you word bomb it all over them, they're just going to run. They're just going to run the other way. They don't want anything to do with you. And also the more confident that you come off, if they come back, I've actually had a lot of girls, which makes me so sad, but a lot of new girls come back with me and say, well, some people think this is a pyramid scheme. And with that question in particular, I want you to like screenshot it and send it to me, Shelby or Ashley, so that we can help you answer that the best as possible. Because the more confident that you come off, which we all know it's absolutely not a pyramid scheme, those are illegal. That's not what we do. But the way that you respond to that will make or break a potential distributor. So when you get something like that, if you're not comfortable right away, please reach out and make sure you ask one of us, because the more confident you are in answering that question, the more that they will be like, oh, okay, that was just them thinking that. You just need to give them facts and not word vomit all over them about why it's not and get frustrated that that's what you hear. You need to be very professional and very confident in your response. So the only other thing I have on here that I want to say real quick, and then I'll pass it to Shelby, is to stay away from phrases or sayings like, do you want to know how you can earn $10,000 a month? Or, you know, just, or even leading with the $10,000 bonus. It seems and it makes people think that it's a scam, even though it's not. And that's very real and people can. It's not how we should be reaching out to them. So make sure that you're not leading with, hey, my teammate just got a $10,000 bonus. I want to sign you up and have you get the same thing. You can do a version of that, but just make sure that it sounds real and that it's not something that they already are skeptical about. So if that makes any sense, just make sure you're saying more things like, can I tell you how you can earn an extra income from home, or how you can stay home with your babies? Like Ashley just said, you know, if you know that they have kids, make sure that you're including what their why would probably be. But anyway, I think that's all I have. So Shel, over to you.
Yeah, that's so true. When I reached Diamond and I earned my $10,000 bonus, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and have like 10 messages sitting in my thing. Like, how do I do this? And it was like crickets, total crickets, because some people are just mean, and not that they're mean, but some people just don't even believe that you actually did that. They're like, okay, yeah, sure you did. And then other people think, she can do that, but I never would be able to. So people are just so skeptical, and some people are so unhappy with what they're doing that they don't believe that anyone else could be happy, and they especially don't believe that they could be happy. So it's not that important to lead with this big stuff and these huge numbers, because like Rochelle was saying, it seems scammy because it seems so unreal, but we know it is real and it's so possible. But lead with the little things, because that's what's really going to draw them in. So the last few things that I wanted to say is, one is following up. It's so, so important, you guys. And you have to follow up with potential distributors. Think about yourself and your enroller, and think about how many times your enroller had to follow up with you before you decided to join this business. Probably very few of you got a message from your enroller and was like, okay, give me your website. Let me get right to it. I'm signing right up. Here's my credit card. Like, there might be one or two of you guys, but most likely that's not how it went. We as enrollers, we had to reach out to you several times probably. And so don't get discouraged when you're having to follow up with your potentials several times. Like, that's just how it is. Like, people need to, one, connect with you, which is what Ashley was saying. Like, the more comfortable they feel with you, the more likely they are to choose you. I've had people on Instagram say, Shelby, I'd like to join your team, and this is why. And they say that they tell me that they've had 3 or 4 or even more people, It Works distributors, reach out to them and ask them to join their team. And they told me that the reason they chose me is because they feel like they know me, or that they feel like I care about them. And I'll tell you one little baby tip, and it seems so silly, but not only do I actually treat these people like they're my friends, but I will literally call people like nicknames. So some people are like, hey love, or hey girl, or whatever. Well, I will be like, hey Britt, or hey Steph, or hey Ash, and it seems so dumb, but like that's probably what other people call them. It's probably like a nickname that people call them that are actually their friends. So here's some weirdo on Instagram calling them by their childhood nickname, and they're like, oh, I like this girl. You know, it's so dumb, but it works so good. So, you know, if you don't have to do that, but if you're comfortable doing something like that, it's worked really good for me in the past. And, you know, it's silly, but I like it. Oh, but anyways, totally got off track. Follow-ups, you have to follow up, follow up, follow up. And I mean, I've told you guys this a million times, but June 4th will be my 3 years and it works. And, I have looked back on old potential distributor lists from like back in the day when I first started. And it's so funny because so many people are highlighted or crossed off or should be highlighted and crossed off because they've joined my team. And it's because I have followed up with them for months and months and years and years. And yeah, maybe I didn't follow up with them like every single week for 3 years, but I went back to them and I said, hey, remember when I asked you 2.5 years ago if you wanted to join my team and you said no, you were way too busy? Well, what about now? Like, what are you doing now? Join me. You know, I didn't say it in those words exactly, but I go back to everyone. I don't leave anyone behind. Everyone is still until you have joined my team, you are a prospect on my list of somebody that I want to join my team. Like, I'm not giving up on you, and sometimes I even say that to people. Sometimes I say, you know, I followed up with them several times and they just keep being like, I'm just too busy, Shelby. I will literally say to them, okay, I'm going to stop harassing you for right now, but I'm not giving up on you. I know you'd be amazing at this. And I'm not quitting on you. And I'm like, I'm going to stop bothering you for now, but I'll be back. And they normally like give me the little emoji with the laugh or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny, but I'll be back. Like, just wait. And so, no, you know, I follow up with everybody. And so never ever cross out that name of someone that says no to you, because it normally always just means not right now. So follow-ups are super important. The last thing I want to go over with you guys is my favorite thing. And I share this with you guys all the time. I am a huge, huge, huge believer in speaking your goals into existence. So when you say that you are a distributor signing machine, when you say you're good at signing distributors, when you say it out loud every single day to yourself so confidently, you're going to become a distributor signing machine. And I shared with a couple of my distributors the other day, take a Sharpie and write it on your bathroom mirror that you are good at signing distributors, that you are a distributor signing machine, and that you will sign distributors this month. And when you wake up in the morning and you go in the bathroom to wash your face, you read it. You read it 3 times out loud. And I promise you guys, when you speak this stuff, it becomes real. It sounds, you know, when I first heard that, I'm like, well, that sounds a little like hokey pokey. Like, I'm not into this whole, like, you know, magical whatever, but it's not that. It's that when you're saying this out loud and speaking it into existence, you're putting confidence in yourself. And when you're confident, you can do anything. It's that whole ignorance on fire thing. You don't have to know anything about this business, but if you go up to somebody confidently and excited, they're going to join you because they want to be as happy and as confident as you are. So, speak it into existence and it will happen. And then the other thing is I've heard this before, and I know Ashley's heard it before too, and that we've talked about it, and that we both love it. But, go out every day talking and acting like the rank you want to be. So even if you're a distributor, you're not, you know, you haven't even been promoted to executive yet, go out tomorrow acting and speaking like a diamond or an ambassador diamond or a black diamond. Whatever your goal is, go out there tomorrow and act like that. Because when you're acting like that, it's gonna attract people. People are gonna see you're happy. They're gonna see you're confident. They're gonna see all of these things about you, and they are gonna want that too. So I just want you guys to just, feel it and love it. And just, I don't even know if what I'm saying totally makes sense, but just, when you are a certain way, people want to be that way too. And, sometimes you're having a bad day and sometimes you don't feel like an ambassador diamond. Then, take a deep breath, take a break. Maybe don't post right this second. Don't be negative. Don't be nasty. And just take a second or a minute or 5 minutes or an hour or whatever to reset, recharge, do some self-development, and then jump right back into those ambassador shoes and just kill it the rest of the day. Because you guys, it just attracts the people that you want on your team to you. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys learned a lot tonight. I hope that you're able to take these tips and just fly, and that you're able to just find people that need this and welcome them to your team with open arms, and just help them. As long as you have that mindset that you're a hope broker, that you're here to help people get healthy and wealthy, and that you're not here to just make money. It's not all about you. It's about others. Then your business is going to grow exponentially. So that's it. Thank you, Rochelle and Ashley, for joining me tonight. Thank you for every single one of you guys for jumping on tonight. And just a little reminder, Wednesday, we're going to be doing another Zoom. Rochelle is going to be hosting, and she's going to be telling us all her super duper tips and tricks for how she went diamond in 45 days, which I will say, she's amazing. And she's pretty much told us exactly what she does every single day. She shared every single one of her scripts. She does Facebook Lives almost every single day. She's amazing. So she's already shared so much, but you guys, honestly, like this, you don't want to miss this, because I feel like just hearing Rochelle, she just has like so much excitement, and you're always going to learn something new when you talk to her. So I'm super pumped. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be taking notes. So I want everyone else there too. Otherwise, have a great night tonight, you guys, and tomorrow, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
See you Wednesday, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See ya.